I'm overwhelmed and I am devastated, even though I am smiling because I don't know what else to do. I just cried for a while and now I don't know. I never thought that he would cut me in a million zillion years. I thought I would cut him first. And he told me kind of like when we were walking, he was walking to the diary room, he was bawling and he just said like, I don't want to blindside you. And that's all he pretty much said. And I was just like, are you kidding me? Like, don't even think about doing this. I was so prepared to sit final two on finale night, like no matter which way it went. And so I just looked like a fool. Yeah, I couldn't have prepared for that moment. And he kept it very secretive. I couldn't tell, and like he's very good at the thing that's like the craziest is he's so good at making me feel guilty. Like he's like, one time we're just sitting at the table and he's just like, you're saying this because you feel guilty because you were thinking about cutting me, and like me and Derek never acted like this. And I was just, so it was like, I couldn't believe it. It's like he Derek'd me right there. See, the thing is I really thought that even if he took me, he would freaking sweep it. Maybe not totally, but yeah, I think it was a little too close to home for him. I think that if he could have, I think he probably had in the back of his mind that it could happen again, but it didn't even cross my mind a little bit, and that's what's so alarming. The relationships you build in that house, it felt so real, and I am just so loyal that it just wasn't even an option. And I knew him and Enzo were close, and I talked to it about him. I said, Enzo looks like you're taking him, he looks happy, and he would come back with like just saying all the right things. So well, I feel like we're still friends, but as far as like talking all the time, I already feel like the fact that we are separated and we're not locked in a house together, that we're just gonna go back to our normal lives and maybe talk here and there, but nothing crazy. That's a good question. I went back and forth and I lost a lot of sleep. I lost a lot of sleep at night, and Cody was very good at making me feel guilty for even considering it, because there was a time where I wanted to just go to Cody and say, look, whoever wins the final thing, let's just each take Enzo, right? So I got the right mindset, but I didn't have the guts to like say that. So then I was like, you know what? I wouldn't live with myself if I cut Cody. Me and Cody, we're so close. How am I gonna live with myself? Because he's like my brother. And I'm not afraid to sit next to him. The thing is, everyone's like, oh my God, you would take him, you would lose. Not everyone. Nobody said that to me, actually. But, like, I can see it in people's faces. You're like, oh. And, let's see what happens. Like, I think I could have lost to Enzo. And I thought I could lose to Enzo. I thought I could lose to Cody. And I'm closer to Cody. And Cody had my back throughout this entire game. So that was an easier decision for me. Just like why Cody took Derek. I think it's the same explanation. Until you're in that house and you're feeling all these emotions, it's not just at that point picking someone to sit next to you. You're giving that person $50,000. Enzo played a great game, but no, Cody played such a good game that I didn't really think about it. No, so Cody and I didn't talk at all. We were on Big Brother 16, and our moms stayed friends. They talked like a little bit here and there, but Cody and I had nothing. And in the house, I think I saw him, and I immediately felt Davon was in there too, but I immediately felt like comfort with him because he is somebody that people gravitate to, and I was like, okay, there's my ride or die right there. I usually pick my ride or die day 1 or 2. And that's when I felt like it was, I knew he had other ride or dies, but I knew he would be my best choice because he's very good at competitions and very likable and things like that. You know, I think that in the jury house that things, I'm confused. Danny and I are, we were friends outside of this house, and I think something in jury, I'm not really quite sure why she has a feeling towards me, and I still have to figure that out. I don't get it. Oh, that was the hardest game move thing I've ever done. And then what came after that with having to lie about it, it was very all real, all my feelings. I think I sat and sobbed in the DR for 3 hours in my freaking cereal box. Freaking show the footage. I'm sitting there rocking back and forth. I don't want to freaking vote him out. And the thing is I begged Danny, I don't know if you saw this on live feeds, let's just let it be 7-1. Let me vote that way. She didn't want me to vote that way in case it went to 4-4. She'd have to show her cards. So I was protecting her. And no matter what, she'd look at me, you cannot do it, you cannot do it. I wanted to give Ian my vote because I was the only other winner with Ian. Ian and I had a bond. Once he was gone, that's when I gravitated more towards Cody. Ian was the one person in that house that I related to. And he was the person I hung out with the most. He was the person that I freaking loved spending the most time with. And so everything, all of that is real as it can be. And I can't act at all. So I don't. So as far as game strategy goes, lying about that vote if it was just blowing up my game, I would have blew that up. And I think I said that. I've said that in the DR. I don't know what's shown, whatever. I said I would freaking blow up my game because that's how hard this is hurting my heart. When you have your best allies, Danny and Cody, telling you you'll blow up not only Danny's game, you'll blow up the committee because she's going to go around and figure out you're bigger, you're part of something bigger. So when I have freaking 7 games or 6 games on my back and because I just want to tell the truth to just do that, that was a lot of added pressure. If I could have just blew up my game and told Davon, yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure watching it back, everyone's like thinking, it's just like, it was purely game. It was purely, and it hurt my heart. And it hurt my heart a lot. And I want to talk to Davon about that. We got along fine before the show, but right before the show, people were calling me, telling me that she was saying stuff about me and about my wedding, and so I think that got brought into the house. And then next thing you know, Nicole A came to me and said, Janelle calls you a bitch, and I was just like, oh, I'm so sick of this. So I was like, I had enough. I'm sick of shutting my mouth. I feel like all I do is shut my mouth and sit there and take all this freaking hate all the time. So I'm gonna stick up for myself, and so that's all that is.
Got it.
All right. I'm sure she'll continue saying stuff, and I'm not getting in Twitter fights. I've never gotten in a Twitter fight, and I'm not going to start now. I'm done. I'm retired. Okay. My heart can't take anymore, so I'm out.